So over the last couple of years, companies have been adding antibacterial properties to their products. I think the first one that I used was probably back in 2017 when I did this Otterbox video. Now fast forward to 2021, and I would say about 20% of the manufacturers out there are including antibacterial coatings or integrations into their products. Hey Val, let's go do the intro.
Nope, you're disgusting.
What?
I edited the video and I've seen what's growing on you.
Seriously, you're not going to help me with this intro?
No? Is your middle name Fungal by any chance?
Jesus, guess I don't need this. So I guess I'm going solo for this video, Monty and I. So the questions I really wanted to have answered for this how disgusting does your iPhone get video was how disgusting does my iPhone actually get, and do these antibacterial products actually work?
Don't forget number 3. Does Aaron know how to wash his hands?
To answer these questions, we went and bought a bunch of Petri dishes, agar, and swabbed a bunch of our devices and watched, well, the grossness grow. We did 4 rounds of swabbing, with the first round being we took antibacterial products from Casetify, Flolab, PanzerGlass, as well as CaseMate. We cleaned everything on our devices with alcohol wipes before taping certain sections of the products. We taped over those sections to ensure that they were sparkly clean when we swabbed them. After taping everything, we used our devices for about 5 days, and during this lull, Val figured out how to make agar. Now, a few hours before we swabbed our devices, we moved our air purifier into our photo room and ran it, and right before swabbing, we wiped down the entire photo box to minimize airborne contamination. We then swabbed the exposed parts of the case and screen protectors, as well as the areas underneath the tape. With this first round of swabbing, we really wanted to see if there was going to be much difference between ultra clean areas and normal areas on antibacterial products.
So it's been about 4 days since we swabbed everything, and we've done a time lapse of stuff that has barely grown. But there is stuff definitely growing on these Petri dishes. And so at this very moment, it looks like I am the grosser of the 2 people in this video. But for some odd reason, there's a bug in Val's Petri dish. And I don't know if you guys can see it. Yeah, it's there. I'm not quite sure how I got there. So these are with the antibacterial things. Got about 6 more Petri dishes. We're gonna swab them with just normal cases, like this one. From my extremely basic understanding of biology, these smooth round bits are bacterial cultures and the fuzzy ones are fungal, but there aren't actually many fungal ones in this first round. Now, while waiting for these Petri dishes of disgusting gestate, we did a second round of swabbing by swapping out our cases with non-antibacterial products. I swapped out my screen protector to a shellress one, and we used these products normally for 3 to 4 days and then did the same swabbing using the same cleaning procedure. How did the round 2 plates fare? Our guess was that these plates were going to give us a good idea of how gross non-antibacterial products were. And here's the comparison shot between the plates. The green labeled ones were from the first round, yellow from the second, and it's pretty clear in my selection of plates that there were more things growing on my mouse case that I used. The yellow plates had been growing for about 4 days in this shot. It's pretty substantial, the difference in the growth. As I mentioned before, the main thing of note for my basic biology is that there were way more fungal colonies on the untreated products than treated. Now here's a comparison shot of Val's plates. In general, I'd say the untreated case that she used, the loopy, had more bacterial growth than the treated ones. Oddly enough, none of her plates had fungal colonies. One of the things I would like to point out are the screen protector plates. We didn't actually swap out the screen protector, and the growth between the 2 plates seemed pretty close. No colorful blobs of bacteria, and as a side note, the screen protector that we used was this PanzerGlass one, and they claimed that their product kills 99.99% of surface bacteria. So in this photo, does it look like that's 0.01% bacteria?
8, 9, 10. That was not 20 seconds. Doesn't your watch tell you? There we go. So as Aaron said, we started this video in late November, and it's taken about 12 weeks to get everything
grown and filmed. So give the video a thumbs up if you like it, subscribe if you haven't, and if you want to give us even more help, you can head over to our Patreon page.
Now we planned for this experiment to end here, but we weren't satisfied, so we made more agar and swabbed more things for round 3. And for round 3, we were just very indiscriminate in what we swabbed. You know, basically just stuff around the studio. We swabbed my iPad, Apple Pencil, keyboard, Val's wallet and her keys, her mouse, my mouse, Val's pen, my Apple Watch, and our makeshift camera plate screw tightener, a loonie. We also swabbed a bunch of devices. We swabbed an iPhone 12 Pro and 2 minis that were currently being used by both of us during our multi-charger testing. We also swabbed the back of the cases we were using at the time as well. So what happened after 8 days?
This is so gross. Aaron, did you see your keyboard one? What are you doing? Yeah, good call. That's kind of gross.
Now, out of all the things we swabbed, Aaron's Magic Keyboard was the absolute worst. But again, most of the worstness was fungal. The iPad itself was kind of gross, but it paled in comparison to Val's keys. And oddly enough, our computer mouses weren't that bad, which was kind of surprising. Val's wallet was also pretty funky, as well as the loonie that we used. When it came to the swabs from devices, the back of the cases that we were using at the time, I think Val was using one of the fake silicone cases we had just reviewed, and I was using a MagArmor case from Speck. It definitely showed more growth when compared to our previous swabs on the antibacterial cases from round 1 and 2. Now, oddly enough, the communal iPhone 12 Pro didn't have much on the front or the back, which was kind of weird, especially when compared to the swabs at the back of both iPhone 12 minis. Now, on to round 4, we swapped out our cases again with different antibacterial properties, and we swabbed them again after using them for 3 days. Now, in this shot, it's been 10 days since we swabbed the last group of phones, and 14 after the mass swabbing, and you can definitely see that the antibacterial products definitely have less funkiness.
Did you wash your hands? Knew it.
So after all that, what did we actually learn? Well, the thing...
Well, that Aaron is a hot fungal mess.
You're so mean. So how gross does my iPhone actually get? So with my iPhone, things were gross, but not as gross as my iPad. And I guess I've been cleaning my iPhone way more because of whatever we're going through now, but the iPad, which is either at my kitchen, in my laptop bag, or at my office, doesn't really get a lot of attention, which is why it just got so disgusting. So what's the other thing that we learned?
That Aaron doesn't know how to wash his hands?
Do antibacterial products actually work? What do you think, Monty? I would say so. Like, I was expecting kind of a nuclear option with these products because they're like, we kill 99.99% of all the bacteria, but it's, when I think about cleaning, it's like a binary thing. It's like a thing is clean, the thing is not. But oftentimes there's stuff left over on the thing that we've cleaned, and that is very evident with these swabs that we've done with all these antibacterial products. It's not completely clean. There's still stuff on there, and I do understand the fact that I am taking bacteria from an environment where it probably will not reproduce into an environment on the petri dish that it will. That's why we see things grow, but still, the conclusion that I have, it's like clean, binary, it's clean or not. Anyways, I think that's kind of all we got for this video. Questions, comments? I don't think there's anything else that we learned.
No, definitely there's something else. That Aaron would spend $1,000 on an Apple Watch with a hand washing feature and ignore it.
I got nothing else for this video. First, I'm watching one of our videos. Subscribe. I'm gonna go cry in the corner now. You're so mean, Val.
Go wash your hands. And that's the real reason why we wear masks.